Bluff City Media presents the Two Buck Sports Show with your hosts, Rusty Buckets and Uncle Buck. Now, let's get to the show.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to your Tuesday edition of the Two Buck Sports Show. I am your co-host, Rusty Buckets, coming to you live from a beautiful East Memphis. I got the quarter zip on. It's a beautiful day outside, and I got my guys. Speaking of beautiful, I have the antithesis of beautiful here with me today, and Uncle Buck, Drew Gann. What's happening today, man? How you doing?
I'll tell you what, I don't want anybody to, get excited about this weather that we're having right now. When I pulled into the house to do this show, it was 68 degrees outside here at the end of August in North Mississippi. Don't anybody get used to it yet, because this is fall. We do this every single year. Mm-hmm. We're going to have another wave. Enjoy it. Go outside, put something on the grill tonight. Enjoy it, but don't get used to it yet.
We're in false fall. I said that yesterday to someone, and they were like, I've never heard of false fall. I'm like, you're clearly not from the Mid-South, because this is false fall number one. And yeah, Jared, it's here for like a week or a week and a half or so. And then it's going to get blazing hot again, just in time to go back to false fall number two before summer makes a roaring comeback. And then we finally officially hit wintertime. And so I'm going to enjoy it while I can. It's beautiful right now. It's just like, the humidity is down in the 50%. It's like, it is truly like, I saw something that it was Josh Pate that tweeted it out over the weekend. And he said, there's going to be lows in the 50s on Saturday morning for week one of college football. So it's just a great reminder that God loves you and he loves college football, because we've got prime weather for it on Saturday, Drew.
Yeah. You've got false fall in the fall, and then you've got blackberry spring in the spring. Yep. They're both just God's way of head faking you here in the South. Don't get too tied to it. I'll be honest though, maybe I'm soft. There's a difference in 68 when you're used to like 70. Used to like 95. It's a little brisk. I was like, maybe I need a jacket. Am I getting soft?
I think you're just getting old and thin blood is what that is. But I'll take any excuse to rock quarter zip, especially my Mississippi State ones. Good Christmas present for Maggie last year. Super, super comfy, super thin. So it's great for a day like today. But I am going to get used to it. And then I'm going to be incredibly angry when the heat comes back with a vengeance here in Memphis, because there's no way we're done with the heat here on August 26th. It's going to come back. But there is this weekend might be a great weekend to break out the fire pit if you are so inclined and have one. I think that might be on the agenda this weekend, just because we don't get times like that in August that you could use a fire pit. And Drew and I have been known to strike a match at the drop of a hat. And I think that this might be a weekend that we have to do that.
Yeah. It would be the perfect weekend for opening weekend of college football if my son's travel ball coach didn't decide it was a perfect weekend to play baseball. It's just lame. I'm just so bummed out about it. I'm going to have my iPad charged up. We will be watching Lee Corso's last game day. I will be watching Texas and Georgia at 11 o'clock. I will be watching LSU and Clemson. I believe that's the night game. It's not going to prohibit me from watching it, but I will not be the best parent in the moment. Yeah.
Not my fault. It should be understandable. It's when you schedule a wedding, you schedule a baseball tournament during college football season, you own the risks. The risks of having those events. And so I'll be watching college football all day at Grind City Brewing. And at some point around that, either Friday night, Saturday night, sometime in there, it is a holiday weekend, maybe Sunday night, the Solo Stove will be broken out and a fire will be had, because you can't not take advantage of it. And I just super stoked about it. So if you are going to be in the neighborhood, I see King Minx is coming out this weekend. Jared, if you're going to be in South Haven this weekend, make sure y'all come out to Grind City Brewing for our first official college football Saturday show. You're going to have me, you're going to have Kenny, you're going to have Zach Callahan, who live update is going to be a guest on the show tomorrow. We're going to talk about what to expect this weekend. Got some hot beer takes that we're going to talk about. So make sure you tune in tomorrow. But if you're going to be there, if you're going to be in town, y'all come out on Saturday. The live show starts at 1:30, but we're going to have monster games on the projector screen all day long. It's going to be an awesome time to celebrate the best time of the year, the best season of the year, and that is college football coming in this weekend.
There's no doubt. I really hate I'm going to miss out this time, but I will be there next time for sure. We'll hold it down. Y'all work out all the kinks as your dress rehearsal goes on this Saturday.
Exactly. So, but before we get diving in, we've got fantasy football content to talk about because we did have our fantasy football draft this past weekend. I want to talk about that. We got a lot of college football for y'all today. I do want to talk to you about Ounce of Hope. Ounceofhope.com. Use the code Bluff City. Get you 15% off your first order. Again, I am stuck on those roasted blends, 5 milligrams THC, 10 milligrams CBD. It's a great way to start your weekend and kind of be mellow throughout the day. The mushroom vitality gummies with my new job, like I go during the day. Like I'm up in the morning making calls, getting connections. I do the show and then I hit the ground running throughout the rest of the afternoon. And I normally drink coffee all day. It's something I've been doing for a long time. And I get the jitters and all the things that come with that, right? But the mushroom vitality gummies have been a nice alternative without that jittery feeling, without that nervousness that comes with a ton of caffeine. It's a good blend that gets you some energy throughout the rest of the day and you avoid that afternoon crash. So again, go to ounceofhope.com, use the code Bluff City, get you 15% off the mushroom vitality gummies. Or if you're here in Memphis, check them out in the Sanderlin Center or in the Cooper Young neighborhood. On the other side of the commercial, we're talking college football.
Looking for an alternative to alcohol or conventional medicine? Check out Ounce of Hope, a Memphis-based dispensary with 2 local stores in the Sanderlin Center and on South Cooper Street. You can get all the products you need in a location convenient to you. Each store offers an intentional shopping experience with dedicated bud tenders to answer all of your questions, from product selection and mushroom blends to our personal favorite, the Delta 9 seltzers. You gotta try the Peach Buzz. Try Ounce of Hope at either one of their 2 Memphis stores or at www.ounceofhope.com for convenient products shipped right to your door. Use the promo code Bluff City for 15% off any order, excluding sale items. Cannot be used in conjunction with other promotions or discounts. One use per customer.
2014, the first team I started on, we won the Miami Beach Bowl and, of course, won the Brawl as well.
Yes, you did.
We went 10-3, finished the year ranked number 25 in the country.
Yeah.
And 2014, and that team and those players will be honored coming up on Saturday. For those that don't know, that team, while it's not the best team in this run, it was the start of the run. That is a special group of human beings, truthfully. Yeah. I know we don't always say it, but there's a lot of pride there, man. Like, absolutely. Even though we haven't been able to, like, fully reap the benefits and rewards of what it's become, the indoor practice facility, the NIL money, the FedEx deal, like all these different things, there is a lot of pride where we can point and be like, if we never lay that groundwork, that doesn't happen.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. In the heart of the Highland Strip for 27 years, Trilogy Tattoo has helped tell stories for Memphians for generations. Located at 530 South Highland, Richie and his team are waiting to help you tell yours.
From tattoos to piercings, your body art should be as unique as you are. Voted a Memphis Flyer top 3 tattoo shop in the city of Memphis since day one. Your story will be safe here at Trilogy Tattoo.
Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 11, and 3 to 11 on Sundays. They have convenient times waiting on you. Let Trilogy Tattoo help you tell your story.
Back to the $2 Sports Show, Tuesday edition of the $2. I've got my buddy Rusty back here with me. Thank you to Luke yesterday for for jumping in. Just a little bit of sickness, a little bit of chaos. You know how it goes with the $2 here. But thankful for Luke for jumping in last minute here. And just a quick reminder to everybody who's watching us on Bluff City Media's X page, Rusty's X page. Come on over to the comments. We got the norms over here, Wayno and Jared and King, Meeks and Edward, and all the cool kids are over here in the chat. Leave where you're at on Twitter. We appreciate you being over there. But if you want to hang out like with all the cool kids, come over here to YouTube, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, get in the chat here and hang out with all our friends.
Yep, absolutely. And King Meeks, again, the game started at 11, but the show starts at 1:30. So we're going to be there all day, hanging out, watching football. The Grind City gang is going to be queuing up stuff all day long. But our show will be live at 1:30. It'll be live through the speakers there at Grind City, as well as right here on Bluff City Media's YouTube page at 1:30 after the early game, but before the 2:30 kickoff of Alabama, LSU, and FSU. And Jared, check with your lady, but bring her too. Come hang out. Maggie's going to make an appearance. I think it's going to be a good time for all. Even if you don't love football, there's going to be stuff going on that you'll be able to enjoy. But why wouldn't you love football? I mean, we literally sat there Saturday night, Drew, and we picked our teams playing basically Dungeons and Dragons for jocks and picking our fantasy football team at the League of Avengers draft on Saturday night. It was a good time as always. I would never tell Drew this, but he does a really good job running the draft, and it's a lot of fun hanging out and drafting live in person. It's a priority that we do it, and Drew, I thought Saturday night went well. Any big takeaways from the League of Avengers draft for you as the commissioner?
Well, as far as commissioner goes, the big change that we made this year, and I'm starting to second guess myself, but the big change we made was getting rid of kickers. You know, when it comes to, especially if you're in multiple leagues, the waiver wire is such a key part of winning a league. You can't win a league without making key waiver wire moves. And in our league, we use FAB, which is a free agent acquisition budget, where instead of just the worst team gets the best waiver ad, we bid on it in a blind bid. They go live you can make bids on Tuesdays. You see what happens if you get your player on Wednesdays. It's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. But we ended up spending a lot of FAB, and it just takes a lot of brain power to think about kickers, which doesn't really get my juices going. I finally find myself getting annoyed by it. So we got rid of kickers. We added a second flex position so that we could have a full 9-man roster like usual. So we're going to see. I think that second flex position may be a little bit difficult. And the only reason why I second guessed myself today is because I was thinking, I remember a time where games were decided by a last-second kick on Monday Night Football. And that's so rare, but it has happened before. It's where if the kicker makes it, he wins. You get the feeling of a walk-off field goal as well by having it on your fantasy team. So that's the only thing I thought about. Ultimately, I think it'll be fun. I don't want to deal with kickers. I don't want to research kickers. I
think there's more strategy and gamesmanship here because, can you find that stash guy, right? Because there's always going to be a guy that's on the waiver wires for the first part of the season that just mid-season just finds his stride, gets a connection with the quarterback. There's an injury. And can you be that guy that finds that diamond in the rough, outbid your league mates, and make a play for him? I like it. I like not having a kicker. I think, again, it adds a bit more gamesmanship. I can appreciate that, but those incidents are so rare that a kicker decides it. I mean, and I sit here and have won games and lost weekends with a defense. And so, it is what it is on that front.
My thing with kickers too, kickers do take talent, and defenses. It is a skill to pick a defense, draft a defense, whereas there's not a good or plus or negative kicker matchup. You know.
Sure.
So
yeah, I do stream defenses.
Shout
out Jared. I took the Broncos defense in it mostly because they played the Titans week 1, and I know that we're going to be rough. And the Broncos have a chance to be a top 3 to 5 defense in the NFL this year. So I can appreciate that and appreciate kind of the matchup, streaming defenses. But The League of Avengers is off and running, and we'll keep y'all updated throughout the year. We've got some big content that's come up around that, as well as a Bluff City League coming next year. So stay tuned for that. Some long foreshadowing there, but we got some cool stuff coming up.
I would do it this year. If y'all wanted to draft, we could get in there and do it now.
We may throw a little something out in the group chat and see what comes out of it. But Drew, we have college football this weekend. It kicks off. We had week 0 last week, and football was played in Dublin and across this great nation, and smaller schools got kicked off. But the big boys and the big games start this weekend. Technically Friday night with Auburn and Baylor kicking off, and then we've got some big games on the docket for Saturday. Again, starting at 11 a.m. at Grind City, we're going to have Texas and Ohio State on the big screen. If you get there and secure a table, there's tables. Each table has a TV that you can put your game on and watch. But the first game that's going to be playing is going to be the Texas-Ohio State game with the audio on the big projector screen. And that's just the tip of the iceberg on Saturday, man. Just some incredible matchups already.
Yeah, I can't wait. Week 1 is really good. Starting Friday night. I don't care for anything that happens on Thursday, and then there's some games that I don't care about on Friday too. But I feel like you get the hard launch of week 1 of college football with that Auburn and Baylor game on Friday night, and then it's wire to wire. Like if your team, like my team, is playing Georgia State, I'm going to keep it up, but I would not even subject anybody to have to watch that game. Like I'm not going to take a TV up at Grind City Brewing Company on the Ole Miss Georgia State game. Like it's fine. I'll keep up with it. I'll watch it later. I'm so locked in to Alabama, Florida State, and LSU and Clemson, and Texas and Ohio State. All these games that are like they've staggered them really well. I believe what the first game you've got 11 o'clock is Alabama, and also 11 o'clock is Texas and Ohio State. But then the late game I think is LSU and Clemson, and then in the middle there, maybe it's Alabama that's in the middle.
Alabama and Florida State kick off at 3. It's not 2:30 anymore. It's at 3, and then we've got the LSU Clemson's at 6. Mississippi State plays Southern Miss at 11, so we've got an early kickoff as well. But with that, we are going to be talking SEC predictions. Normally we do this across a couple of shows, but this is the last show that Uncle Buck's going to be on this week, as he's got to go to his Mighty Morphin Power Ranger clinic later this week, where they're going to learn how to morph and turn into the big fighting dinosaur thing. Right, Drew?
Yeah, that, in a nutshell. I think you summed it up well.
So we're going to talk SEC prediction, win-loss today, and we've got a special guest picker that's going to help us with that. Drew, you want to tell the good folks who's helping us?
Yeah, so the way we'll do this is we don't have enough time. We do not have time for a 3-hour show today, so we're not going through every game. We're just going to give the team name. I'm going to lob the team name to Rusty. He's going to say wins and losses. I'll do the same, give my overall record, wins and losses, and then we have enlisted the mighty brain of Grok on X.com to give us its prediction. I looked at ChatGPT. ChatGPT was just giving me ESPN's information. I don't want ESPN's information. I don't trust them. So we're going to do Grok instead.
Exactly. So we're going to start with our SEC teams. These are the win-loss over the win totals for each SEC team on FanDuel. FanDuel.com is your destination for college football betting this fall. Great website, great interface, easy to use. I've already given them some money on opening weekend. Went 2 out of 3 on a parlay, and if you know how parlays work, that one loss tanks the rest of it. And so already given the great folks at FanDuel some money this year. So check them out this weekend as the games get started.
All right. First up, we're going in alphabetical order, just like you've got here on the right side of the screen here, left side of the screen. Alabama, FanDuel's got them at 9.5. Big game, week 1 against Florida State. Off the top of your dome, what you got record-wise?
So I've been back and forth on Alabama since we've been talking about SEC football, and I think they're going to be good. I don't think they're going to be good. Looking at their schedule, what they have and what they're bringing back, I have Alabama going 10-2 this year, with their 2 losses being Georgia, and I think South Carolina gets revenge for last year and upsets the Tide. Alabama going 10-2.
Oh, wow, that's interesting. Yeah, the key games for Alabama, they've got 2 road games, Georgia and Auburn on the road, but they've got Tennessee at home, they've got LSU at home, and they've got Oklahoma at home.
They also
And
play at Williams-Brice in Columbia, South Carolina.
I was going to say, and they play at South Carolina. So I like 10-2 there as well. I do think that they're better than last year. I trust Ty Simpson. They finished 9-3 last year. I think they're 10-2 as well. Grok has them at 9-3. The little snippet that Grok has about them. Ty Simpson steps up. Ryan Williams shines. Defense dominates front 7. They have losses at Georgia and at home to Vanderbilt.
How about that?
So next up we've got Arkansas. Arkansas's line is at 5.5. If you go over, they go bowling. If they go under, they stay at home again. Key games. They go to Memphis to play at Simmons Bank Liberty Bowl Stadium. Is that what they're calling it now?
Mm-hmm.
They've got Notre Dame going to Western Arkansas. God help them.
Yeah.
They go to Knoxville to play Tennessee. And they go to Austin to play Texas. Really, really brutal schedule for Arkansas.
Yeah, so being a 12-game season, I've got Arkansas going 4-8. I don't think that they're going to hit the over. I don't trust Sam Pittman in his offense. Their defense is going to be porous. And like you said, brutal schedule. I got 4-8 for Arkansas.
Yeah, I think it's very possible that Arkansas has a worse record this year, but has a better team because this schedule is just brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Jared, Arkansas fan, agrees with you at 4-8. I'll give them a tick up. I think they upset someone. You look at last year, they upset Tennessee at home against Arkansas. In Knoxville against Tennessee. I think they upset someone. I think Taylor Green's good. I like a returning quarterback. He's a kind of quarterback too that you have to plan for because he is such a dynamic runner. I'll say 5-7, and Grok has them even better than I do. Grok has them at 6-6, that's Auburn. 3-5 in the SEC. Says Taylor Green dynamic in year 2 under Petrino. Got a big offensive line out of the portal. They have losses. Arkansas losses at Ole Miss versus A&M and at Missouri is their 3 that they make mention of.
All right. That Notre Dame game is very intriguing as a potential upset simply because it's in Fayetteville. They're having to come to a hostile environment. I don't know that I'm buying Notre Dame this year. I'm not going to sit here and go on record and say that they upset the Irish, but that's one that I think that could be the upset you're talking about.
All right. Next, we've got the Tigers from Auburn, Alabama. They start the year at Baylor in Waco on Friday night. We've talked about it nonstop. Great. I'm calling it the kickoff of college football.
Mm-hmm.
Key games. They go to Norman, Oklahoma. They go to College Station, but they've got Alabama and Georgia and Missouri and Kentucky all at home. So I think a pretty favorable schedule here for Auburn as long as they can get past Baylor on Friday night and start the season off right.
Yeah, I've let Zach and some of the guys kind of talk me into Auburn a little bit. And looking at their schedule is the biggest part of it. I counted 4 losses for Auburn. I have them losing at Oklahoma, at A&M, losing to Georgia at home, and losing to Alabama at home. I think the Tigers, there's a path to 8-4 there. It all depends on Jackson Arnold. If he can figure it out and get it going under Hugh Freeze, it is a very favorable schedule with your SEC opponents. You got Missouri at home. You don't have to travel to Columbia. You go to Arkansas, but you got Kentucky at home. They're bad. Vanderbilt at Nashville. Who knows about Vanderbilt this year? Again, if they can if they can win at Baylor, I won't call it upset. I think 8-4 is a possibility.
Yeah, I think that's fair. 8-4. I lean about the same. I think that number is pretty fair. I don't think I would bet Auburn one way or the other. I'm with you. I think that Auburn's got 4 games that they should lose. With a guy like Jackson Arnold, I don't really, I don't know about upsets. The problem is the middle. I've put them firmly in the middle. Like,
Yeah.
could Arkansas beat Auburn in Fayetteville? Absolutely. Could Missouri beat Auburn? Absolutely. So I'm going to go 7-5. I'm going to go just one game shy of the under of the middle number there. I'm going to go 7-5. Rusty, you got them at 8-4. And Grok has them at 6-6. They've also got them going 3-5 in the SEC. Their snippet here, Jackson Arnold talks about Jackson Arnold, deep wide receiver losses at Baylor versus Georgia, at Bama, and versus A&M, which are three of the games that we both mentioned, and then Baylor as well. So
yeah.
All right. Next, we have got the Florida Gators. Gators, another really difficult schedule, but it doesn't start hard off the get-go. They start with Long Island and South Florida before going to Baton Rouge and Gainesville in week number 3. In week number 4, they travel to Coral Gables to play Miami.
Yeah, so they travel to Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge, the LSU game. I think that it is a tough schedule, but I think they found some momentum towards the end of last year. DJ Lagway is a great quarterback. He's got a lot of potential, a lot of arm talent.
He can be great.
Can he take that next step? This schedule is brutal, but like looking at it, I've got losses at LSU, Texas. I have them losing at A&M. I have them losing to Georgia and at Ole Miss to finish the season 7-5 for the Billy Napier-led Florida Gators.
It's just so hard to predict somebody like DJ Lagway. I think I lean to him being really, really good. However, I'm not going as far as I've seen a lot of people go with him. You know, so people are talking dark horse Heisman. I'm not ready to go there yet, but I do think DJ Lagway is really good, and he single-handedly beat Ole Miss last year. Yes, he had a lot of help from Ole Miss, but on the side of the ball that he controlled, he was really good. I like they've got the FanDuel Sportsbook is 7.5. I'll go over. I'll have them at 8-4 this year. You've got them at 7-5. And Grok agrees with me at 8-4 overall. The notes that they have for Florida here, excuse me, it talks about DJ Lagway, tough schedule, losses versus Georgia in Gainesville, at Ole Miss, and in Knoxville against Tennessee are their key losses.
I can see that. Again, it's been a tough schedule. It's brutal. It's just it's a gauntlet that they've got to run. I think they got one of the top 5 toughest schedules in the country. And for a young quarterback like DJ Lagway, like that's going to be hard.
Yep. I'm with you. All right. Georgia, this should be really simple. Georgia's over-under is set at 9.5. Honestly, it'd be the biggest disappointment ever if they go 9-3 and hit that under. Really easy to start out the gate there before a week 3 matchup in Knoxville against Tennessee. What say you, Rusty?
I think that Georgia has a down year this year. There's a lot of chaos and turmoil and swirling around there with all the trouble with the law. Apparently they don't know how to order I don't know that Uber and Lyft have made it to Athens, Georgia just quite yet. And so they're struggling keeping players on the team. I think Georgia has a down year this year, and they finished 10-2 with losses to Texas and Georgia Tech. I'm high on the Rambling Wreck for Georgia Tech. I talked about that in the offseason, like earlier last week. I'm high on the Rambling Wreck. I think that Georgia has a down year and goes 10-2.
There's just absolutely no chance that Georgia Tech beats Georgia. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. I think that Georgia goes 11-1. I think that they lose to Texas again. Or they beat Texas again. Georgia went 2-0 against Texas last year, but then fell short in the playoff. So I think Georgia goes 11-1. They do get their one loss, though, in Athens as Ole Miss goes back-to-back.
Oh, my God. I knew that's what you were going to say. What's Grok say about Georgia?
Grok's got them at 10-2. Pretty simple. They have their losses against Tennessee in Knoxville and against Texas in Athens.
Yeah, Grok must be higher on Tennessee than I am, but we'll get to them here in a few minutes.
All right, let's talk about Kentucky. You want to really lay down a long, spend 5-6 minutes on Kentucky.
3-9. 3-9. Kentucky's bad. I don't buy Kentucky at all.
Yeah, I'm going to go 4-8 on Kentucky. I think we're both going to go the under. I don't know. Like, they went 1-7 in the SEC last year, and it sucks that one loss was to – that one win was to Ole Miss. So we both got 4-8.
I think they lose opening weekend to Toledo. They play Toledo this Saturday at 12:45 in Lexington. Toledo's a good Group of 5 team. I saw them live and in color last year when they beat Mississippi State. I think Toledo beats Kentucky in Kentucky.
Well, Grock has them at 4-8 as well, 2-6 in the SEC. They've got losses to Toledo, Florida, Georgia, and Tennessee. So Grock agrees with you. Yeah. They think that and 8th-year college football quarterback Zach Calzada was named the starting quarterback. He beat Alabama as a freshman, and I think he's been to about 6 schools since then.
Yeah, most recently he's been at A&M, most recently Auburn, and now at Kentucky. And I still
Incarnate Word. Yeah, he spent last year at Incarnate Word.
That's right. All
right, LSU. 8.5 is the FanDuel Sportsbook line.
I like that. LSU is going to be good. It falls on 2 things: Garrett Nussmeier's knee and their defense. And I think their defense is going to be better if Harold Perkins can stay healthy. Their schedule is set up fairly favorably. We'll know at about 10 p.m. on Saturday night when they wrap up that game against Clemson, which I think that they lose. And I think they go 9-3 on the season to hit the over from FanDuel at 8.5. I think their 3 losses this year being Clemson, South Carolina, and Alabama.
Okay. That's fair. That's going to be the 3 games that they're probably underdogs in. I don't think they'll probably be underdog in any other game unless the Ole Miss game. Ole Miss goes into that Week 4 matchup undefeated, and they come to Oxford. Ole Miss may be a slight favorite, and LSU loses Week 1. So I've got LSU at 9-3 too. Listen, I would like to take them higher. I haven't seen it yet. I just haven't seen them take that last step to go to 10-2, 11-1. So I'll say 9-3 as well.
I think that Brian Kelly loses the 6th opening game in a row for LSU too when they play at Clemson on Saturday.
I do too. You had them at 9-3.
Yep, we both have them at 9-3. What's Grock say?
So does Grock. 9-3 for LSU. Defense improves but falters versus run is what Grock says. Losses at Florida, and they've got a loss versus South Carolina as well.
Call that one too.
All right. Listen, we can really camp out here. I'll go ahead and get out in front of you just for Week 1. I think Southern Miss beats.
Oh my God,
Mississippi State. Southern Miss gets the head coach from Marshall. Marshall won their conference last year, and he took anybody he wanted from that team. Southern Miss is going to be better.
They are, but they're not going to beat Mississippi State Week 1. I think that Mississippi State's going to be bad, but I think they're going to be better than last year. I see the world in maroon-colored glasses, so I see a lot of wins here. I've got Jeff Lebby going from 3-9 in his first year with no SEC wins. I think that we shock the world. We go 6-6, and we get a couple of upsets along the way. We lose to Tennessee, A&M, Florida, Texas, Georgia, and Missouri. I think we upset both Arizona State and Ole Miss in the Egg Bowl. I think we finished 6-6 on the season, as I think I scared Drew completely off as he has a work call coming. But I think that Mississippi State's going to be better. I think that Jeff Lebby has this team poised to take that next step. Blake Shapen's coming back. He's got experience in this system. Yes, he missed most of last year with a fractured collarbone, shoulder injury. I think that Mississippi State's going to be better. I truly, truly do. I think that we're going to beat Arkansas like a drum, Jared. We're going to go to Fayetteville and we'll absolutely wear them out. The A&M series is another one that I think that we're going to get an upset win in, because in that series with Mississippi State and Texas A&M, it is becoming an SEC rivalry. I don't care what anybody says. It is. And the road team has had the stark advantage since A&M has joined the conference. We play at Kyle Field in the middle of the Colt. I think that that's an upset win for Mississippi State. And I think that we could get to 6-6. Realistically, anything better than 3-9 is a successful season. But if you get to 6-6, again, the schedule is brutal. And if you go 6-6, then you absolutely have earned your way into a bowl game. And Jeff Lebby deserves all the praises in the world. But our non-conference, you got Southern Miss, which I think is a very winnable game. You upset Arizona State in Starkville. That's a long way to travel from Tempe in week 2. And then you got Alcorn State and Northern Illinois. And I think you could be 4-0 going into that Tennessee game in Davis Wade in Starkville on Saturday, September 27th, which will likely be a loss. But if you're 4-0 going into that game, Drew, I think there's a lot of momentum and a lot of positivity for the season heading into SEC play.
Yeah, I'll put it to you this way. If you're going to get to 6, you've got to go 4-0. Where I stand with Mississippi State is I think Mississippi State will be better. I do. They went, 3-9 last year?
3-9 last year.
I think that they will be better, and I think they will be better than their record shows.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that. I think that Jeff Lebby is a good coach. I think if Blake Shapen stays healthy, the problem I'm having is I can't just look at this and say I know what their 5th win is going to be.
Yeah.
So I'll split the difference with you. I'll say 5-7. I like to look at these and like wins and losses and then like toss-ups. I see 6 losses and 3 wins, and the rest are toss-ups.
Yeah.
And so it's really hard for me to get them to say that they're going to win all 3 of those toss-up games. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I'll just say you convinced me. I'm scratching out 4-8. I'll go 5-7.
Let's go.
And that's mainly because the biggest hater of the group is Grock, who's got them going 3-9. Grock has Mississippi State going 3-9, 1-7 in the SEC. Losses to Southern, at Ole Miss, and Alabama. That's the 3 of the 9 they decided to note.
Yeah, Grock's got that off because we don't play Alabama, so Grock must be drinking.
Well, hey, there's not a real person. So you're obviously not going to beat Alabama either. So
no, even if we played Alabama, that's not saying that we would beat them. So yeah.
All right, Missouri. Their number is not on the screen right now. Maybe Rusty has another page. I don't know.
You know what I do, because we've hit the 8 limit team that I could put on here, and now we're on the next one.
All right, Missouri 6.5. They went and won a Access Bowl last year. I believe they went 11-2 overall last year. A really good season. They did lose their quarterback, their running back, both of their receivers. They're bringing in Bo Pribula, who I've talked about on this show before, a Penn State transfer, very athletic guy. But Vegas has their number at 6.5. What say you, Rusty?
I'm higher on them than Vegas, than FanDuel has them at 6.5 wins. I think they hit the over. I think they go 8-4. They have a very favorable schedule. They get South Carolina at home, Alabama at home, A&M at home, and then their road SEC games are Arkansas, Oklahoma, Vandy, and Auburn. I think they go 8-4 with losses to Auburn, Alabama, A&M, and Oklahoma. And I still think that, that's a remarkable job by Eli Drinkwitz if they go that way. Their defense is what's going to carry them because they did lose a lot on offense. I think their defense is still going to be really good next year. And they're just quirky how they find ways to get to 8, 9, 10 wins. And so I'm calling 8-4 for the Missouri Tigers.
Okay. I think Missouri is going to be good too. Listen, I'm going to call them.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hang on. I just now see this. We have a bet laid down. Jared says that if State beats Arkansas, he'll wear a Mississippi State polo the next Saturday. And if Arkansas wins, he'll send me a hat to wear on air. I'll do that, Jared. Let's do that. Okay. A bet has been made in the comments. I'm here for it.
All right. Missouri. I'll go chalk with them. I'll go 7-5 for Missouri. There's a weird game in week 2 for them when they play Kansas at home. Mm-hmm. Kansas, who was a darling 2 years ago, dealt with injuries last year and has allowed everybody to forget about them. I think that Kansas is good again. That's a real tricky game in week 1. I'll go 7-5. I don't think they're as good as last year. Grock also has them at 7-5 with losses to Kansas, Alabama, Oklahoma, and South Carolina. I don't think that they would win any of those SEC games. And then I also agree on Kansas. So there you go.
There you go.
All right. Oklahoma, darling to a lot of people. Dark horse Heisman, John Mateer. Listen, bet on yourself, brother. You know, if you're going to bet on anybody, bet on yourself.
Bet on yourself.
Oklahoma is 7.5. on their win total according to FanDuel. What say you, Rusty?
Under 7-5. I think that Oklahoma is better than last year. I think McTeer can be really great. I think their defense is going to be good just because Brett Venables' defenses are always really good. But it's a brutal schedule. Week 2, they got Michigan coming to town. They play Texas, obviously, at South Carolina, Ole Miss, at Neyland, at Bryant-Denny. Like, it's a brutal run. I think 7-5 with losses to Texas, South Carolina, Tennessee, Alabama, and LSU.
Yeah, it's not a great schedule either because they're going to Tennessee, they're going to Alabama, they're going to South Carolina, and then Texas is at the Texas State Fair in Dallas. Mm-hmm. So for a neutral site game, I think that Oklahoma's going to be good. I'm a believer, I think, in John Mateer. This schedule is just brutal. I will go 8-4.
Ooh. Hitting the over on FanDuel.
And they're going to beat Texas in the Red River rivalry.
Oh, Drew has Texas.
That game is so weird.
It's so weird.
It is. 11 o'clock at the fair, in the Cotton Bowl Stadium. Give me 8-4, the over with a win over Texas.
Listen, Danny Stoutman said it best a couple of years ago before that game. You know, Oklahoma fears God and Texas fears Oklahoma. And if that doesn't make you want to run through a brick wall, I do not know what does.
Gronk has them at 7-5 with losses to Alabama, Texas, and at Auburn. So, all right. The moment we've all been waiting for. The Ole Miss Rebels. They have an 8.5 game line, according to FanDuel Sportsbook. And they start the season hosting the Georgia State Panthers on Saturday night. What do you say, Rusty?
I think Ole Miss is going to be good. I think that Lane Kiffin does a good job at retooling. You're going to lose some offensive firepower with Jackson Dart being gone just because he was so entrenched in that system. I think the defense is going to be good. Golding has done a great job with that defense and turning it around. I think the schedule is very favorable, but I am going to go on the underside. I think 7-5 this year with losses just because you're breaking in a new quarterback, and I know you're high on him, but losses being LSU, Georgia, Oklahoma, South Carolina, and the Golden Egg Trophy comes back. It doesn't leave Starkville this year. It stays in Starkville. Mississippi
what are you talking about? It's in Oxford.
Getting the win in Davis Wade Stadium and keeping the trophy in Starkville. Ole Miss goes 7-5.
There would be nothing that made more sense than Ole Miss to lose this Egg Bowl trophy this year. I've got Ole Miss at 9-3. Listen, the schedule's not great. I like opening up the season with competition as opposed to what we've done in the past with 4 cupcakes and then Kentucky on the road. This year, you go Georgia State. You go Georgia State at Kentucky, and then Arkansas at home and Tulane at home. That's not a cupcake schedule by any means. Mm-hmm. It's not a gauntlet by any means, but you're going to be able to see what this team's about in 4 weeks. You know, Tulane has got Jake Retzlaff, the guy who was dismissed from BYU for boinking. He is now at Tulane. He's a really good quarterback. He comes to Oxford. Arkansas comes to Oxford. And you go to Kentucky. I like that we have a little bit of test, but Ole Miss should be 4-0 coming to a Week 5 matchup in which I hope College Game Days in Oxford, Mississippi for a showdown against LSU.
Could be. Yeah. What does Grock say?
Past that, I think Ole Miss is at 9-3. Grock says 8-4 with losses Georgia, Alabama, and LSU.
Splits the difference right between us. And so I think it's anywhere in there still a successful season given the turnover that Ole Miss is having.
I will say this, because of the starting quarterback being a first-year starter, because of some of the question marks on the offensive line, if I were going to change mine one game, one way or the other, I would go 8-4 before I went 10-2.
It's fair.
So, South Carolina. South Carolina is 7.5.
I am unrealistically high on South Carolina. They reeled off 6 in a row last year to finish out the season before losing to Brett Bielema in the Cheez-It Bowl and the Fighting Illini of a friend of the podcast, Lauren Massey. King Meeks wants to buy me a case of beer if Mississippi State goes 6-6, and I will absolutely allow that, King Meeks. When we go 6-6, I'll absolutely take you up on that. You're going
to have plenty of money left over.
But South Carolina has a very a somewhat favorable schedule. They get some of their tougher games at home. They get Clemson at home, Alabama at home, Oklahoma at home. They travel to Oxford and they travel to Death Valley for LSU. They start slow typically, but their schedule is very friendly at the beginning. I have South Carolina going 9-3 with losses being at Missouri, losing to A&M on the road, and then losing to Clemson at home on the final game of the year. South Carolina shocking people and going 9-3 once again after an incredible run last year to finish the season at 9-4. I think they repeat this year.
Yeah, they are not going to win their last 6 games of the year this year. I think South Carolina's fine. I think their schedule's really easy to start the season. I think that more likely than not, they're going to be 4-1 or 5-0 after the first 5 weeks. Virginia Tech, South Carolina State, Vandy, Missouri, Kentucky. Although I think they've got a 4-game block before their next bye week where I think they go 0-4. They have LSU, Oklahoma, Alabama, and Ole Miss in a row before ending the season. A&M, Coastal, and Clemson. That's a dog stretch down the end.
It is.
I think South Carolina goes 7-5.
7-5. King Meeks is asking, does anybody have a surprise team in college football? For me, it's the South Carolina Gamecocks. I like Lenore Sellers not to be a Heisman, but I like him more than DJ Lagway in Florida. I really like Dylan Stewart at rush end. They're bringing back a lot of guys at receiver. Like South Carolina is going to be loaded this year.
Yeah, Gronk has them at 6-6, lower than both of us. Losses, LSU, Alabama, and Ole Miss are the ones that they list here. So next we've got Tennessee. We got the Vols. The Vols are 8.5, and they start the season in Atlanta against Syracuse.
And that is spelled, for those of you keeping up at home, that is spelled V-A-W-L-S, the Vols.
Vols.
I'm not high on – I think Joey Aguilar is not a good quarterback. Like, he's not proven. He hasn't played any SEC or any meaningful football. I am not real bullish on Tennessee. A lot of people, and this is super trendy, I didn't pick this, but a lot of people are picking them to start the season 4-0 and then come to Starkville and get upset. And nothing would make me happier than that. I don't trust Mississippi State enough that early in the season. I think both teams could come into that game Tennessee would come in 3-1 because they got Georgia in week 3. But I think both teams could come in there with some momentum. I still think they win. I've got the Vols going 8-4 with losses to Georgia, Alabama, Florida, and the Vanderbilt Commodores. 8-4 for Tennessee.
I've got them going 7-5. I've got them losing to Georgia, Alabama, Oklahoma, Florida, and pick one that's not Mississippi State. I'm just not a big fan of Joey Aguilar either. All right, Texas. We can spend very little time on this. Their win total is the highest in the or tied for the highest in the SEC, 9.5. I've already told you one game I think they're losing. So breaking news: I'm not picking them to go undefeated.
And I am 12-0 for the Texas Longhorns.
Oh,
I think they jump out. I think they beat Ohio State. Their schedule's not bad the rest of the way. I think they'll be tested by Oklahoma. I think they'll be tested by Georgia and A&M. I look for Texas to go 12-0 this year, not losing a single game in SEC play. But I don't know that they have the dogs to win the national championship. Riding their defense that's super experienced, and I think Arch Manning has a big year.
Yes, so Georgia has not lost to Texas, if I'm remembering correctly. I think I am. Mm-hmm. And so you've got them beating Ohio State and then beating Georgia in Athens, Florida in Gainesville, Oklahoma in the Red River Shootout. And then the rest of the season, the rest of this schedule doesn't look daunting per Texas standards. I think they go 10-2 with losses to Ohio State and to Oklahoma.
Yeah, there you go.
Beating
what does Grock say?
Grock says 10-2 as well with a loss to Georgia, SEC champs over Alabama is what Grock says.
I don't know that they lose to Ohio State with a young quarterback at Ohio State. I think
they both have a young quarterback, brother.
I know, but like Arch has actual playing experience, whereas Sayan doesn't. And again, I think Texas's defense is going to be a lot better.
calling Arch Manning's experience as being very kind with
it is.
What he played against
Mississippi State,
Louisiana Monroe, and played a little bit against Mississippi State. Like
he took snaps last year, and I don't know.
I believe
big on Texas because their defense.
But I'm not going to say he's obviously better than Julian Sayin, who Nick Saban recruited and was going to be the quarterback until Nick Saban left. He wanted to play for Nick, and when Nick Saban retired, he left too. So.
I just think that they've got 3 preseason All-Americans at all 3 levels on defense, and I think that's the difference in Week 1 against Ohio State. But 2 more teams.
Wait, you say who's got?
Texas has got a preseason All-American at defensive line, linebacker, and safety.
Ohio State has the best receiver, and it's very possible that Ohio State has the 2 best players in football.
Sure.
Caleb Downs and Jeremiah Smith.
Sure. And I think that Texas defense will be up to the task.
So A&M, their number is 7.5, which, you're just betting on A&M to be A&M. They're going to be 7-5 or 8-4. What say you?
I say 8-4. Jared, are you listening? I think they're 4 losses. The Mississippi State A&M rivalry, like I said earlier, the road team has the stark advantage since they've joined the SEC. I think we go to Kyle Field and upset A&M. I think they lose 2 weeks later at DWR Razorback Stadium in Fayetteville, Arkansas. I think they also lose to LSU the next week on the road, and the last game of the season they lose to Texas. So I've got A&M finishing 8-4.
Yeah, I think that they're going to be 8-4 as well. I don't like their schedule. Notre Dame going to Notre Dame rather in the 3rd week of the season. That middle block of games there in between their byes are Auburn at home, Mississippi State at home, Florida at home, then at Arkansas, at LSU. I think that they go at least 3-2 there, but probably 4-1. Then they end the season with Missouri, South Carolina, Samford, and Texas. They're going to lose to Texas. Their schedule lightens up, and a lot of times when you think about Texas A&M, you think that they finish slowly. I don't really think they finished slowly this year. I believe in Mike Elko a lot more than I believe in Jimbo Fisher. So I'm going to go 8-4.
That's fair. Last, what does Grock say? What does Grock say about A&M?
You had them at 7-5, right? Or did you have 8-4?
8-4.
8-4. Grock says 8-4, 5-3 in the SEC. Losses Notre Dame, Texas, and Missouri.
There you go. And lastly, we've got the Vanderbilt Commodores and the Fighting Diego Pavias in Nashville. They were a Cinderella darling team last year. Can they repeat the magic? I think their schedule is gross. It is a brutal run through the SEC for Vanderbilt. God bless them. When is it not? They've got Charleston Southern and Virginia Tech to start, and then it just starts. They're at South Carolina, a couple of cupcakes, then at Alabama. They play at Texas, at Tennessee. But I got them going 6-6, dadgummit. I think they lose to South Carolina, Alabama, LSU, Missouri, Texas, and Auburn for their 6 losses. But they upset Tennessee in Neyland Stadium last game of the year. They almost did it last year, getting blown out by 20-something points. But they do it this year. Give me the Doors over the Vols, 6-6 for the Fighting Diego Pavias and Clark Lee. I love Clark Lee. After watching that documentary, I'm all in on that dude. Give me 6-6 for Vandy.
Yeah, the only difference I see between this year and last year with Vanderbilt is I don't think that they've clinched a bowl game before the Tennessee game. So I've got them going 5-7. It's just they're going to be
just hard
at best going into Bama. 3-2. They've got Virginia Tech and South Carolina back to back. If you say they win both, I think we would be surprised if they win both. So I'm going to say 3-2, but maybe worse going into Alabama. And then that stretch in the middle between their 2 byes, LSU at home, Missouri at home, at Texas, and then Auburn at home. It's not daunting, but we're still Vanderbilt. I don't expect them to go 2-2 there.
Yeah.
So I think that Vanderbilt goes 5-7. Grock has Vanderbilt going 5-7 as well, with losses to South Carolina, Alabama, LSU, and Texas.
And there you have it. FanDuel has their over-under at 4.5. Drew and I both are hitting the over for Vanderbilt. I think by and large, I'm pretty much riding the under on most teams. I've got a few overs. I've got Texas hitting the over. I've got South Carolina hitting the over, Mississippi State hitting the over, and Missouri hitting the over to kind of highlight my teams. I think there's a lot of wiggle room in there. I think that there's a lot of teams that are going to be better in the SEC, but it's a brutal SEC that's going to vulture itself again, Drew.
Yeah, I do too. Hey, listen, you're going to a 9-games SEC schedule next year. You really need to clean up this season before you do it. If you want a 9-win team to get in the playoff this year, you need the SEC to be dominant. Last year, the SEC was not dominant. You did not get a single 9-win team in the playoff. If you want a 9-win Ole Miss or South Carolina or Tennessee or any of these teams that just don't quite make it to 10 wins to make the playoff, you need the SEC in week 1 to dominate other conferences. You need Texas to beat Ohio State. You need Auburn to beat Baylor. You need LSU to beat Clemson. You need the SEC to flex his muscles in the first 2 weeks of the season. You need South Carolina and Vanderbilt to go 2-0 against Virginia Tech in the first 2 weeks of the season. Like,
yep, exactly.
if you want that middle tier SEC school to get a nod into the college football playoff, you need SEC domination this week.
And I think you'll get it starting Saturday. Uncle Buck, thanks for being here, man. I know you're hitting the road. Hate to see you go, but we're going to have some great shows throughout the rest of the week. We're going to talk South Carolina. We're going to talk Auburn. We're going to talk Tennessee previews as we head up to Saturday's kickoff. And don't forget about the show at Grind City Brewing, 1:30 on Saturday. Come out if you can. Hop in online if not. And until then, that's going to do it for your Tuesday edition of the 2 Buck Sports Show. Again, I'm your co-host, Rusty Buckets. Got my guy, Drew Gann, here Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central on Blood City Media's YouTube page and on the X.com. Go be a friend to somebody who needs a friend. And, Drew, there are no refunds for what you heard today.
That's right, because with the $2, you always get what you pay for. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of your week, and I will see you again on Monday. Rusty, we'll see you here tomorrow.
Thank you for listening to the 2 Buck Sports Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. We'll see you back here next time.